My name is Art Edwards. The book is The Journey to Hangtown Haven. It's about homeless people in our community and the effort that we made to build a homeless shelter, a place for them to live, to get off the street, and most importantly, get out of the forest and cut down the problem with forest fires, which are very prevalent in this area. In the 1930s, my mother used to feed the homeless people that were wandering the streets. One day I asked my mother, "Why do you feed the homeless the way you do?" She says, "Because it's the right thing to do." Now that stuck with me my entire life. A pastor was asking for help to house the homeless in his church, and we, my wife and I both, offered to help. I'm a retired aerospace engineer, worked at Lockheed Sunnyvale, Ford Aerospace Palo Alto, designing satellites, mechanical engineer by training, University of California, Berkeley. I thought that as I got into the helping the homeless, my engineering background would be useful in designing and building places for them to live that are safe. Of course, we had no money, so we decided that the only thing we could afford was tents, but we needed the city council's approval, which we got. My book covers all of these things I'm telling you now in much more detail, and the step-by-step process we went through to get to the point we could actually start building. And the very unique thing about Hangtown Haven it's not just a place to live, but it's an entire living system. We have done things that are totally different than anybody else I know of has done. And the main thing we did was turn the operation of the tents over to the people living there. In other words, people in the area said, "Oh, you got to keep homeless on a short leash, you got to do this and that," and I did just the opposite. I turned the whole operation of the tent city over to the people living there. One of the main things that homeless people lose when they become homeless is self-respect, because they no longer have control over their environment or their people. But I gave it back to them and said, "This is your home. You do with it what you want." It's just amazing how well it worked. Having support, a support system. And I think that is the main thing of Hangtown Haven was, it was a place to live, but more importantly, it was a support system, but it was all this community of people all supporting each other. The politics of homelessness is really bad, and we could do nothing until we were able to get the politicians on our side. The same people who worked so hard to get us started were the people who 18 months later said we had to shut down. That's the main point of my book, is to help other people not go through the same mistakes we went through, but to go take it right through to a successful completion and get people off the street. If you really want to learn how to build a successful homeless shelter, just read my book. It's a great pleasure to be able to do something successfully that everybody said wouldn't work.